Hello, great people. It's me, Shakita Valentine, and my life purpose is to enlighten, encourage, and empower. I am so glad that you are here with me this week. If you have not already done so, go down there and hit that subscribe button and hit that bell notification so you can be alarmed when the videos are uploaded every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Listen, we are going into our bad breakup series. I know we probably all been there, done that. What qualifies me? I've been there, done that. I got my tissue if you need it, and if I need it. So we're gonna just hop right in though, so I can get through this really, really quickly. Bad breakups, tough. Yeah, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's a tough, and you're probably wiping your tears right now as you're about to watch this video. But I promise you're going to get through this. The one thing I teach women, as I interact with a lot of women that go through divorce for whatever odd reasons, I tell them to always go through it gracefully. Now, men, you can apply this too, that you can go through things gracefully. Also, go through it gracefully. No arguing, no fighting, no fiascos, no social media posts. Go through it gracefully, because you'll come out stronger on the other side after you get through the process of the bad breakups. Now, B in this case doesn't stand for bad in the normal, Webster Dictionary definition. Bad in this case is better after. You're gonna be better after, and I'm about to give you the D's for it. You're gonna be better after the divorce. You're gonna be better after the discovery. And I'm mentioning discovery. We're gonna jump right into the first point. Now, our biblical principle for this week is going to be Matthew, the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 15 through 22. It teaches, it's a very familiar passage to the Christian community, and it's actually towards the Christian community. But if you're not a Christian and you're listening to me, this too can apply to your bad breakup. It is basic principles, basic practices to get you through the process. So first, what's the first thing? You're better after the discovery. B-A-D, better after the discovery. The Bible says this in Matthew chapter 18, verse 15. Moreover, if your brother sins against you, go and tell him his fault between you and him alone. If he hears you, you have gained your brother. Point 1, alone. Point 2, if he hears you, you've gained your brother. The overall thing is, did you want to discover why you're breaking up? What is the emotion that has caused this breakup? What happened that triggered an emotion that's causing the breakup? I know it's like threefold, but something happened that triggered an emotion, okay? In most cases, if it's cheating, that means there's mistrust, there's distrust, there is misleading, there is disappointment, there is anger, there is something causing this bad breakup. So you need to search within yourself. And I say, you can go to the person, and we'll get to that point. You can go to the person and have a conversation with them if you choose to do so. But you need to search within yourself and figure out, what emotion am I feeling in this moment that's causing this much hurt, this much disappointment. What I want you to do is narrow down to one emotion. You're going to feel a whole gamut of emotions when you're going through a bad breakup, but you need to narrow it down to one emotion that you are feeling, because that's the thing that we need to address, that one emotion. So give you an example. I'm feeling disappointment. So when you're going into the next D, which is a discussion, you're better after the discussion, you'll know what emotion you're trying to address, the discussion. And I tell people, don't go in with an argument. Don't go in with just angry. Don't go in with that emotion. Go in understanding that emotion, 1. And then 2, don't go in with an argument to defend your emotion. Let your emotion just be what it is. Okay. But the discussion aspect, as you're having, if the person would allow you to, he said, if your brother will hear you, you've won them over. So if there's room and latitude for discussion, this is perfect. That person wants to hear you. That person may want to hear you. And you may want to hear what that person has to say. But I want you to understand, when you're going in for the discussion, there's one thing you need to ask yourself. Do you want an answer, or do you want an explanation? Because then that tells you which questions you need to ask. Do you want an answer, or do you want an explanation? 2 things. if you're asking a question, not all questions lead to a conversation. Most questions should lead to an answer. Yes, no. The Bible said let your yes be a yes and your no be a no. Question, yes, no. If you're looking for a conversation, how about you open it up with, can we talk about this? Can we discuss this? Go in with those standards, or go in with that approach, simply so you can be clear on what you're looking for through the whole discussion. Now, the Bible says if he hears you, he hears you. You've won him over. Not saying that you're going to win him back or win her back. You now have the opportunity to express yourself. It further lining says, if he doesn't hear you, then he's become like a heathen or a tax collector. Okay, let me help you filter through that. He don't want to hear you. It ain't no other discussion. And I tell women this, that when it gets to a place, you can't create closure. I need closure. You can't create closure. Closure is created for you all. In my mind, there is no such thing as closure. When it happens, and the person doesn't want to talk to you, that's closure. You can't have a conversation of closure. Because it's still a conversation, and a conversation leads to more open stuff and more open stuff. No, if it's no conversation, it's closure. If they decide they don't want to talk to you, closure. If they decide they want to have the last word, closure. That is your closure. You cannot create closure, and nor should you feel the need to desire closure. The closure is this: you felt a certain way and you broke up. That's it. That's the closure. If you are going to go in with this, get through this bad breakup, know two things. You have to discover the emotion that you're dealing with. And the second thing, you have to have the discussion or the non-discussion. One of those two. If you're going to have the discussion, know whether you want a question answered or you want an explanation. You want answers or explanations. If you are not going to have the discussion, know that that is the closure that you need. Okay, I wish I could go on, but next week I'm going to come back with the other 2 Ds. So you're better after the discovery and you're better after the discussion. Next week we're going to talk about better after the decision. Yeah, I know it's a toughie, but you're going to have to make a decision. And even if the decision is made for you already and you've already broken up, there's still another decision for you to make. I love you. God bless you. I will see you next week. And until then, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Share this with somebody that's probably going through a bad breakup, and let them know, listen, you can go through this gracefully. All right. God bless you. Bye-bye. As we continue to live a naturally spiritual life.